Sheesh, Smalls. I suppose you don't even know who the babe is either. It's Plug. What? Chewing tobacco?
Tobacco, man. What do you do with it?
You're killing me, Smalls.
Welcome back to Thinking Critical. This is Wes. This is one of my favorite videos I get to record each and every month when I do the Marvel solicitations. Tomorrow should be the DC Comics solicitations. I enjoy doing these. I get to have a little bit of fun, make some jokes, be sarcastic, show off all those wonderful sides that make me me. Of course, I will break out the numbers, what Marvel Comics are bringing to the dance in February 2022. I'll talk a little bit about Reckoning War. Well, I think it's actually kind of a mistake that they're even doing this event. And then we'll get into all the details of all 68 comics that Marvel Comics are releasing in February 2022. This is going to take about 25, maybe 30 minutes. If you have an adult beverage, you want to crack it open on a wonderful Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, go ahead, get you a lemonade, get you a Snapple, a water, whatever it is that you want, because this one's going to be a little bit of time. I hope you enjoy this. We're going to have some fun. And now let's get into it. So Marvel Comics are releasing, as I mentioned earlier, 68 new comics in February 2022. They are going a little bit light on the #1 comics this month, released in February. They're releasing 13 #1s. Only 19% of all their new comic books will be #1 issues. Typically, that is more likely to be around 25% or higher. Obviously, all the rest, the other 55% will make up 81% of the total. We have 3 events going on. 10 Lives and Deaths of Wolverine. There will be 4 issues of that total. Devil's Raid, the Daredevil event. I believe there are 7 issues that tie into that. They don't have the little Devil's Reign logo on all the comic books. I remember them announcing specifically that Luke Cage City on Fire was a Devil's Reign event. I think they said Spider-Woman was as well. So I had trouble counting all those up, but it is a big event. We're going to get plenty of those issues, and there will be 2 Fantastic Four Reckoning War issues as well. As far as the 2 big franchises, there will be 11 comic books starring Spider-Man or some type of spider-related character, and 11 X-Men comics, despite us believing that X-Men were going on hiatus while we got this Wolverine event. I thought we were only getting Wolverine and we were getting Sabretooth and like X-Men Legends and everything else was going on a pause. That is not the case. We are getting a few issues sprinkled in here and there. Now let's get into Dan Slott's Reckoning War. His work on Fantastic Four is light years better than his work on Iron Man. They both launched about the same time. Obviously, he has been jettisoned off Iron Man 2020. His big event that culminated his time there was atrocious. It's one of the worst events of modern times. I think it rivals the Hellfire Gala and Age of X-Men. This is as far as just stinkeroonie events. That thing was god-awful. That one should have never been published, to be completely honest. There was obviously the Marvel 616 documentary on Disney Plus, where they pointed out how unprofessional he was, how he couldn't meet deadlines, and how they essentially had to walk him to the finish line to finish Iron Man 2020. He's in better shape for Reckoning War with Fantastic Four. And I believe he's quoted saying that he's been leading to this for like 10 or 15 years. And to that I say, so what? Comic book events should be important. They should be earned moments. I don't even know that this 10 Lives, 10 Deaths of Wolverine thing is really necessary, but it appears that this is like the launching point to whatever the second age of Krakoa is, in the same way that House of X Powers of 10 was to the first age of Krakoa under Hickman. So at least it has purpose. And it has, to a degree, been earned. There at least are X-Men titles that are selling well, X-Men, Wolverine being the 2 of note. And there's potential for future success with X-Men. You have 3 events that are going on. This one obviously is kicking off. None of them, I don't think, people are just like, oh, I can't believe it. It's finally here. And Fantastic Four Reckoning War more than the other 2. And this is why people are investing less and less into comic book events in Marvel and DC. Eventually, you kill the golden goose. These things don't seem important anymore. There's nothing about Fantastic Four Reckoning War that sounds necessary and important. If he really wants to tell the story, him being Dan Slott, let it be a story arc and see if people respond to it. And perhaps you can build up to something important in time. But just giving everyone events willy-nilly takes the importance, it takes the cool factor off the fact that you're having an event. And now, you know, T.D. Howard gets an event. We saw that with you know, Ten of Swords. It's ridiculous. Dan Slott gets another event that is completely unearned. And, you know, that's one of the reasons that, you know, people have lost faith, lost confidence, not only in Marvel Comics, but specifically in their events. The law of diminishing returns. This thing is an enormous waste of time. And this is all going to bite them in the ass, you know, in the long run. Will there be a spike in sales? Sure, I bet there is a momentary spike in sales for Fantastic Four for a couple of months. And then everyone's going to leave again because it's Dan Slott and it's almost guaranteed to not really hit. So those are my thoughts on all these events, specifically Fantastic Four Reckoning War, which sounds like an enormous waste of time and a completely unearned event. Now let's get into the Marvel Comics full solicitations. Hopefully you've got your beverage and we can get to business. First up, we do have the 4 issues of 10 Lives and Deaths of Wolverine. This is coming out weekly from Ben Percy. One of the things I've noticed is that you should scroll through these covers and you can kind of see what they're going to cover. We got Omega Red here with Wolverine, appears to be Vietnam, maybe. Second cover, he looks like he's in Madripoor. And then this is the Covert cover, which I believe will be the primary, where we've got some old man Logan with obviously, well, is that potentially old man Logan? Obviously with the Omega Red fight going in the background. Is another one? No, those are that. I'm not going to read all the solicitation information. It's a lot. He's fighting Omega Red. Here we've got what appears to be World War I Logan. As far as the comic book cover goes, this sucks because it doesn't get you excited. Like, you know what time it is and what the character is, but hey, what's exciting about this? But as far as an illustration goes, this is actually a pretty good cover. And you can see here he is apparently also going to be going with, we got X-23, we got Dakin, and whatever other fake Wolverine that is. And he's got Techno-Organic Virus here. 10 Lives of Wolverine number 4. Obviously, we are going back to the Weapon X program. And another fabulous illustration. Actually, I would say this will probably bring people to the dance because everyone loves this story arc, and specifically the work by Barry Windsor Smith, you know, is probably the best of his career. And that is a good illustration. And we got just you know, kind of regular Logan here. Oh, we got an Eastman cover. This should be the cover that sells the most, in my opinion. And then we got us a nice evil Wolverine. Looks like he's got some Omega Red in him, something like that. Possessed. Here's the last one. Obviously, more Techno-Organic Virus. That's obviously going to be part of the 10 Deaths of Wolverine story arc. Now we got that sign here. I'm going to say they're in Madripoor again. Kind of interesting that you can see where these stories are going just by looking at the covers. I'm not reading the solicitations because that would take too long. Gwedverse. I was not aware who was going to be writing this, but obviously here we got an homage to Captain Marvel, and then we got all these Greg Land covers. Apparently they can't afford J. Scott Campbell anymore, so they've done all these pin-ups with Greg Land. So it's just Gwen Stacy with porno face, with different costumes on. She's just cosplaying as these different characters. But she still has O-face, you know what I mean? So apparently J. Scott Campbell, rates are too high. But the funniest part is this is written by Tim Seeley. The Mendoza line for DC and Marvel Comics. Tim Seeley is as bad a comic book writer as you could be at DC and Marvel and still get regular work. Why is he writing this? I have no idea. I'm shocked. Well, I'm not shocked. They know this isn't going to sell. So why not put Tim Seeley on it? I imagine his rates are pretty cheap. $5. Well, what were those other comics? Yes, these are all $5 as well. At least that one's 40 pages. These are just 32 pages and $5. My goodness, we are getting absolutely destroyed in the you-know-what area every time we buy these comic books. Once you see Tim Seeley's on Spider-Gwen, anyone that wanted to read the comics, like, never mind. You know what I mean? People be reading this one. At least you know it's not gonna be Tim Seeley bad, and it's only, you know, you get to save $1, and you're gonna read a better comic book. Ghost Rider #1. I'm gonna say that was Peach Momoko, but that's pretty good. Yeah, that's the one I would make the A cover. This is Ben Percy, Corey Smith. I'm a big fan of Ghost Rider. Specifically, I really like Robbie Reyes right now, but I also like Danny Kitchen. I do like Johnny Blaze. There are too many Ghost Riders. I'll read this because I am a Ben Percy fan. It feels like it's more in his wheelhouse. I'm not super duper excited. Let's put it that way. Devil's Raid Superior 4 #2. Whoa, we've got a 6-armed Hulk. We've got a Joker-faced Doc Ock. And so something wrong with Wolverine, too. I'm not reading that. Zach Thompson's not a very good writer. In fact, he sucks. Devil's Raid, Villains for Hire. We got John Walker there. Okay. Clay McCall Chapman, not the worst writer in the world, but certainly nobody to get super excited about either. Devil's Raid #4. I will be reading this. Ooh, we got Rhino. We got Doc Ock. We got John Walker. Whoa. Looks like Tony Stark's been taken out. Marco Cicchetto on art. Wilson Fisk, elected mayor of New York, has broken. Whatever shred of decency that may have been left of him is gone entirely, and now, with an army of supervillains at his command, the Kingpin has set his gaze upon everyone and the heroes of the heroes, upon everyone the heroes of the Marvel Universe hold dear. Okay. But even the Kingpin is unaware of the magnitude of danger he has put the city in, its citizens, and even himself with his war against the city's superheroes. $5. My goodness. I'm reading it. Devil's Reign X-Men #2. This is a skipperoonie. We got Dazzler. Whoa, we got Nick Fury. We got She-Hulk. Emma Frost. We got some old school Spidey, black uniform Spidey. Jerry Duggan, Phil Noto. This thing is going to look terrible. Devil's Raid Spider-Man #1. There are a lot of Spider-Man comics. Anthony Piper. Who the fuck is that? If you know who that is, tell me in the comment section. I'm not even joking. I don't think I've seen that name before. If you're going to charge me $5, can you at least attempt or even act like you care that you're giving me value for the money? $5 for Anthony Piper. Going once, going twice, not sold. Daredevil, Woman Without Fear #2. I'm going to read this one. It's Chip Zdarsky, Raphael De La Torre. Obviously, this is going on in the Devil's Reign story arc. I bought into this point. She's been fine, I guess, as Elektra. Or I'm sorry, as Daredevil. Elektra Nachos is the greatest assassin in the Marvel Universe. Taskmaster used to be the greatest assassin, but he is now a joke. So perhaps she is. Is Elektra the greatest assassin in the Marvel Comics universe? Let me know in the comment section. Maybe we'll get some debate on that one. I have heard nothing but bad things about Elektra, Black, White, and Blood. I'm glad that I don't buy into any of this shit. Carla Pacheco, Paul Azaceta, and more. Luke Cage City of Fire. I believe this is a tie-in to Devil's Reign as well. We got some thigh-high boots here. Doesn't look like a very nice person. Could be a man. Not really sure. Guarantee you, this is the cringe factor on this comic book is going to be off the charts, and I will be reading it for the review factor. This one might be as bad as I anticipate, which means it will definitely need to be talked about. $5. Spider-Woman. Maybe this one isn't a Devil's Reign diet. Maybe it was just the one issue. We got some swords and stuff. Whatever. Carla Pacheco. Pere Perez. The anti-arachnine. Nah. Amazing Spider-Man 88.bu. I hate these dot issues. I'm just going to put that one out there. Not even worth talking about. And it's Jeffrey Thorne, the bait and switcher from DC Comics. Remember, when Green Lantern was going to be a John Stewart comic book, and he didn't even know why. JoJo Mullins and Teen Lantern were on the cover. They're not even a part of his story. Oh, really, Jeff? Really? Amazing Spider-Man 88. We've got Queen Goblin, Ashley Kafka. It's a good design. I'm tired of goblins. Hell, let's put it that way. This gives me reason to not invest in Spider-Man Beyond. Let's put it that way. Is there a better cover? Yeah, I mean, that's a perfectly good cover. We get some camel toe in this one at least. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Zeb Wells, Michael Dowling. For almost 60 years, Spider-Man has been defined by goblins. No, I think Spider-Man's been defined by Peter Parker. This shows me that they have a fundamental misunderstanding of what defines Spider-Man. Spider-Man 89. Obviously, we've still got Queen Goblin fighting Black Cat. Patrick Gleason, Mark Bagley as his artist. Well, there you go. This will probably be well written and well illustrated, but I'm just whatever. And then you got her again fighting Spider-Man. Little 3-issue arc within Spider-Man Beyond. Pat Gleason on Pat Gleason. The Daily Bugle is decimated. Can Ben Reilly bounce back and take down the Goblin Queen? I bet he does. I bet he makes it in the end. Ben Reilly Spider-Man number 205. I will be reading this. I've really enjoyed these titles that are in 90s continuity. J.M. DeMatteis, David Baldion, who I believe was the artist on, was it X Factor? I don't know. He was being wasted on some crap. Not the greatest cover in the world. That is very, very active. Who am I supposed to be looking at here? Everything, I guess. I'll be reading this one. Miles Morales, Spider-Man 35. As long as Saladin Ahmed is the writer of this series, Miles Morales will never reach his potential. Savage Spider-Man number 1, the follow-up to Nonstop Spider-Man. Is it because Pachalo could not keep up with the art, the schedule? I don't know. Same writer, Joe Kelly, Gerardo Sandoval. Apparently lots of variant covers as we see Peter Parker turn into a spider. I think we've heard that story before. Carnage Forever number 1. Philip Kennedy Johnson, Ram V, and Ty Templeton. Actually, that is not the worst lineup of writers you've ever heard of. Celebrating something. $5 one-shots. There's a few one-shots coming out here. Secret X-Men number 1. Oh my goodness. Why does this comic book exist? Another one-shot. $5 for a Teeny Howard one-shot. We're on to you, Marvel. We're on to you and the Legion of Doofuses. Everybody sees this for what it is. When the Shi'ar Empire faces an unexpected threat, they must call upon the X-Men. Team co-captains. They're team captains? Oh my god. Sunspot and Cannonball lead Marrow, Tempo, Forge, Banshee, Strong Guy, Armor, and Boom Boom on a secret mission to save Empress Xandra. Forge is in there. That's about it. This has got Skipper-Rooney written all over it. Excellent number 1. Peter Milligan returning to the excellent or the Ecstatics, whatever it is. I'm going to be honest. Normally I would review stuff like this for This Week in X-Men, but this does not feel important, and I don't even know why it's here. X-Men Legends number 12. We got Kitty Pryde. We've got my favorite X-Men, Nightcrawler. Old school, Chris Claremont, Scott Eaton. This is a must-read. The X-Men are dead, or so the world believes, and Mystique, once Forged, dead for his role in the loss of Rogue, injured Nightcrawler and Shadowcat, who, injured as they are, must dig deep to find new strength and do what is right as the last X-Men standing. Artist Scott Eaton joins Chris Claremont. Set in the aftermath of Fall of the Mutants and before the events of his legendary Excalibur. Yep, I will be reading and reviewing that one. X-Men number 8. I like MODOK. And as far as the covers that I've seen, this is the best one so far. This makes me want to read the comic book. We clearly have a maniacal villain. We have the, I don't know, is reality shattering around the X-Men? I'm not really sure. But this looks pretty damn good. I think there's another, yeah. This one less so. But this is probably, it's still terrifying, but this is the one. Look at that. That is a good comic book cover. That looks like fun. That looks like adventure. It is Jerry Duggan. You might get suckered into it. Javier Pena. Take aim at the X-Men. Lots of foes, but dare they face MODOK? I'll read. I mean, obviously, it's the main flagship title. I'll read it until I can't read it anymore. New Mutants 24. You couldn't. There's no way you could trick me into reading this comic book anymore. Although, Wes's dick looks pretty cool here. I'm forgetting his name at the moment. It happens. Silver Surfer Rebirth #2. I'm skipping that. Don't like Ron Mars. He's a dickhead. Iron Fist #1 of 5. Expect a review right here on the channel. We've talked enough about it. Alyssa Wog is all but guaranteed. These Asian stereotypes associated with Iron Fist will finally be stereotyped to an Asian the way it should be. We are regressing, folks. We are regressing. Sabretooth #1 of 5. I liked Victor Laval's work on Eve. We'll see about this one. $5. At least they threw an extra 8 pages in here. I really like the character. Well, there's another variant. That's more effective cover in my opinion. This is my lead pipe lock of the month right here. Lock it up, folks. Maestro World War M #1 of 5. These are the Peter David Maestro books where they're going back and kind of revisiting the history of this character that we don't know a whole lot about. But we've been seeing him fight all these cool villains in the future. We got this post-apocalyptic future where the Avengers aren't around, and he ends up beating, I believe it was Hercules, and he's defeated, I think, Abomination and a few other characters now. I have loved these. These things have been like sterling. There has not been a bad issue yet, and I imagine Maestro World War M will be more the same. Lock it up. My lead pipe lock of the month. World War M #1 of 5. The final chapter of Peter David's Maestro trilogy. Oh, that's like a kick in the nuts. Please let him do something else with this. This is $5 well worth your time. Abe, the Pantheon, and even Dr. Doom have all fallen before the might of Maestro. Finally, he may now reign over his kingdom with a firm green fist, except he didn't account on Abomination rising from the dead and forming an alliance with Namor and Doom. And this dangerous new alliance is ready for World War M. Sold. Venom #5. We shall see on this one. I think this concept here with Venom and his symbiotes traveling space trying to reclaim the Venom name as being good, or the symbiote heritage as being good, is really stupid. This is Al Ewing, so it will be that story with Brian Hitch on art. We'll see. Here we got She-Hulk, Rainbow Roel, Roja Antonio. I mean, this is something I'll probably give a chance because I like this version of She-Hulk, but I think this isn't a comic book writer, and that's a problem. Silk. Emily Kim. Apparently there's another writer at Marvel Comics that's allowed to write Asian characters. The Marvels. I'm not reading that one. Kurt Busiek's a dickhead. This is a great cover. This is my favorite cover. I know technically everything I've said, but this is clearly an homage to the great Jack Kirby. And this is awesome. Obviously, they're in the negative zone. I love this cover. This cover would be worth it alone. Tom Riley, art and cover. Good stuff. Walt Mosley did a very good job on the first issue. And just look at that cover. That is gorgeous. You need to be reading that one. Here we got Hulk. We're being told this is going to be the most violent Hulk ever. And Hulk is one of the most violent characters of all times. I think Donny Cates and Ryan Otley are a match made in heaven. This should be good as the mystery behind Hulk's shocking new status quo deepens. Stop using inside baseball terms like status quo stuff. Just tell me what the book's about. Stop trying to wink at me like I'm a mark. I don't like that kind of crap. Dark Ages #5 of 6. Fuck Tom Taylor. Captain America, Iron Man. Man, these covers are good. Those Alex Ross covers, they really try to sell you on that crap. But it's Derek Landy. Avengers Forever. Cool concept. Terrible writer. Also, Aaron Cooter, I like Aaron Cooter, but he feels like a weird choice for this kind of book. We shall see. I'm going to give it a shot because I like the concept behind it. But I have very low expectations. Avengers. Well, we got Namor and Black Panther going at it against. And we got Valkyrie. We haven't seen Namor in Avengers in a long time. Remember when they were teasing this big war that was going to happen that never did? Black Panther fights to defend the mountain alongside his new teammates Namor and Jane Foster, Valkyrie. I forgot Jane Foster was the Valkyrie. Whatever. Well, it looks like they're fighting each other. I think this cover might be a bait and switch. Khazar, Lord of the Savage Lands. Zach Thompson sucks. Avengers, Tech on Avengers. That thing was terrible. I'm glad it's over. I hope you didn't read that thing because it sucked. Legends, Black Panther, I've heard nothing but bad things about this comic book. Eternals, The Undying. If I need to go to sleep, I will pick this comic book up, and I guarantee you I will be out by the 15th page. Fantastic Four, Reckoning War Alpha. I've already talked about that. Another Reckoning War thing. Phoenix Song Echo #5. I reviewed we did a look back review with Doc on the first issue, and this thing is trash. Trash. Black Panther. More Alex Ross covers. They look nice. John Ridley, for the most part, his work at DC has been awful. I expect nothing but more of that to continue. Miss Marvel Beyond the Limit. Whoa, are they torturing somebody again? It looks like somebody was using her face and they ripped it off. Samir Ahmed. Kate Bishop, Hawkeye. Now that is one shitty comic book cover. You know what I see when I see that? A book I don't want to read. Ugh. If you are the cover artist, I'm assuming that's Janoy Lindsay. I'm sorry, but that sucks for a superhero comic. Get out of here with that crap. Marvel Voices Legacy #1. Obviously, this will be celebrating Black History Month. Cody Ziegler, Nacha Bustos, Victor Laval, Holta Maria Froelich, and more. I don't read really anthologies, and I certainly don't read Marvel Voices. Shang-Chi, Jean Yang. This thing hasn't been terrible. It's actually been pretty decent. Moon Knight. This is the best ongoing series at Marvel Comics. If you're going to read one ongoing at Marvel, this is the one. Although it sounds like Daredevil may return to the same numbering. This Alessandro Capuccio art is where it's at. It's like, mwah, his chef's kiss. It's so good. But if you haven't been investing in Moon Knight, you're making a mistake. Strange Academy, another one. If you have a kid that you want to read a comic book with, this is the comic for you. It's fantastic. It looks like they are going to prom or some type of dance. Could it be homecoming? I'm not really certain. Scotty Young, Humberto Ramos, kicking ass and taking names with that comic book. This is one of the biggest dumpster fires in Marvel Comics. Christopher can't write well. Patsy Walker really doesn't think so. Shocking. Will she nag the shit out of Tony Stark in this comic book? Guaranteed. Black Widow 15. It's kind of gross. Is she, like, I guess she's etching it and stabbing into her skin. Captain Marvel going over 36 issues has got to be the biggest upset in modern comics history. Thor 22. I'm glad Nick Klein has returned to the series, but am I the only one that thinks like whatever juice this had is like gone? Is there anything left for these Thor books? And I still like Donny Cates, but I don't know. It doesn't feel it. Let me put it this way: when it's a new comic book week and Thor is in the pile, it goes to the bottom right now. So I'm almost inevitably disappointed. Alien has not disappointed me yet. It's not great. It's an Alien comic. Get Salvador Roca off of here and get a better artist. King Conan #3. I don't know, man. That's such a good character, but such a terrible writer. But it's a really good artist too. I'm gonna check it out. I like Pain. Star Wars High Republic 14. Skip-a-rooney. Star Wars High Republic 15. Skip-a-rooney. Man, look at these covers are just awful. They scream, do not buy me. They scream, skip over and find a comic book worth reading. High Republic, Eye of the Storm. Charles Soule's time as like the big guy in charge of Star Wars has been very disappointing. High Republic trailer. What if I don't want to read High Republic? Oh, I get Halcyon Legacy, which is like, I guess, a ride. Ethan Sachs isn't bad. This is a good cover. I do like this one for Star Wars 21 because you see like the silhouette of the wreckage. You get Darth Vader's helmet. You get a stormtrooper that's looking. So obviously something's happened. It looks kind of decent. After a mission gone wrong. Oh, I think this was in the last months. It must have been delayed. Poe's mom. I'm going to skip that one too. Crimson Rain. Find it. Greg Pak, no. What happened to Lifeless Corpse of Greg Pak? He hasn't written a good... No, you know what? I'll take that back. His first 3 issues of Firefly were fucking fantastic, and then he just lost the voice. Whatever grasp he had on the voice of the characters that made them unique, he lost it, and it died. Those are the comic book solicitations for Marvel in February 2022. I hope you enjoyed the video. There are some comic books out there worth reading. Maestro World War M. I say go check out Ben Reilly's Spider-Man. Unfortunately, there's no more of the symbiote Spider-Man stuff. But, yeah, Moon Knight's been great. Yeah, there's stuff with reading. We'll see how the 10 Lives and Deaths of Wolverine go. But there's definitely a lot of worth skipping to. Let's put it that way.